Okay, let's take a look at some of our drills with the C major chord. So we're starting here. So what we're going to do is we're going to alternate using our thumb like we have been doing. This is going to be a little bit different than what we kind of worked on, but it's got the same kind of concept. So what I'm doing here is I'm going boom, 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 boom. And if you don't want to do that right away to get used to the movement, you just go boom, 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 boom. But ultimately our goal is just to kind of be able to go alternate back and forth with that. Okay, but let's start with just the top two strings. So here we're going to go. Each time I hit my C note and I go up to the G note, I hit that open E string, or that E string open. Okay, so now if I go up to the G to switch the chords, do the same thing. Or sorry. So that's if you're wanting to switch chords, but for the main time, just focus on the C chord. So just something like this if I was doing it at full speed. Now to add to that, let's add the extra string here. So going down to the D string, if I were to hold a C chord like this, it would look like something like this. So I'm holding that, boom, A string, D string, raise my third finger up to the E string, the top E string, then hit the D string again. So you're just kind of alternating. So you're kind of doing the same thing, but you're adding a little bit more space in between. So if I were to do it kind of. Next thing we worked on was a little bit of a drill, switching with the C major scale. So again, at the bottom, starting right here, if I were just to do the single notes, it would be something like, starting with the E string, 3, 1, open, B string, 3, 1, and then walk it back up. Now, if we were to do that with our switching with our chords, we would go start with the C, third in that first note, and then switch down, back to that C and open E, go back up, third fret B, first fret, so real time, that would look something like this if we were to do it. So what you're kind of doing there is you're doing like if we were to like pick and choose like harmonies with the chords, C kind of harmonizes in a way with G. Then I go here, if I were to just to play the chord, harmonizes with that G, harmonizes with that F, kind of makes it like an F7 sound. C harmonizes with that E right there, kind of gives it like a like a major chord sound. D harmonizes with, or G harmonizes with that note right there, the same kind of way C harmonizes with this note. So over time, you'll be able to hear those things. What we're kind of doing is we're using our root notes and trying to find similar notes that kind of blend well together with it. So that's all I'm kind of doing when I'm switching in between there. If I were to play all the chords. So it kind of gives it like a little cool little thing. So it's like a little tongue twister to kind of get your fingers warmed up. And the last thing we worked on was our C major scale, first position, which I believe you know, but I'll run through it real quick. Just open 1, 3, open 2, 3, open 2, 3, open 2, open 1, 3, open 1, 3. And what we're doing here is we're playing in 3s and 4s. So that's what I call it anyway. Three notes forward, and so we're basically doing the C major scale, but we're going up 3 notes each time we do our starting notes. So if I start with E, I'd go up 3 notes, and then my next note, and then my next note, go up 3, back 1, back 1, up 3, back 1, up 3, back 1, so forth. And just kind of do it slow like this. Okay. Work forward with it first, and then try to do it backwards. But right now, let's just focus on going forward. So real time, that's kind of what it would sound like, is this. Okay. Then we have 4s, which is the same concept, but it's going forward 4 notes and back 2. So sorry. It's hard to do it slow. Okay, so forward, 4, back 2. So if you think about it, we're still doing the C major scale, but we're starting, we're going up in the scale and starting on whatever note is coming next. If I were just to play it straight forward, so my open string's the first, my first fret. So each starting note. Each note in the C major scale gets its turn as the first note, is what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense. So real time, that would sound something like this. So just kind of practice that going forward with those things. Don't worry about going backwards yet. Backwards would... It's a little bit more of a tongue twister kind of thing, but once you get through with doing that stuff, you kind of get a feel for moving your fingers in more of a intervallic way as opposed to just linear across the scale. Basically, you can just kind of see how you select. If we're playing, however, like when you're actually improvising, you can get used to moving your fingers around instead of just going straight forward through the scale. But anyways, yep, I hope this helps out, and I'll see you this coming week.